This is a really quick video on how to use the Birth International's Knitted Uterus. The Knitted Uterus is ideal for showing how muscles work in the uterus during labour. It's also ideal for showing cervical dilatation. It's just a great visual tool. Tip number 1. Make sure that you put the doll inside the uterus and don't stuff the baby in your classes. Now, I will just demonstrate how I would teach a class. Well, this is my knitted uterus, and it's a great way to show you how the muscles in the uterus work during labour. Now, as we've discussed, there are 3 muscle layers in the uterus. Ones that run straight up and down, ones that run diagonally, and ones that run circularly around. Now, the straight up and down ones and the diagonal ones work together to help open the cervix, which needs to happen so the baby can be born. The circular ones, their role is just to relax and allow the other 2 muscle layers to work. Now, what happens is when a woman's body releases surges of oxytocin, they bathe the uterus and cause it to contract. And what happens when a uterus contracts is it gets thicker at the top and it starts to thin at the bottom. And so during a contraction, it gets thicker, thicker, thicker at the top, and then it relaxes, but it doesn't relax 100%. It very, very slowly or quickly, in some cases, gradually takes up the length of the cervix. And as you can see here, it's long. And as the labour progresses and it's getting thicker and thicker at the top, this cervix below starts to thin out and starts to open up. And so when we're almost flush with the baby's head, so the cervix is no longer long, we can see a little bit of the baby's head through the cervix. And so labour is in the early stages, but it's starting to open up. And very gradually, as the woman surges, gets stronger and stronger, the uterus continues to contract and thicken at the top and thin at the bottom. So right throughout the process, and as the cervix stretches up over the baby's head, and it reaches fully open when basically it's wide enough for the baby's head to move through. So that would be considered the cervix fully open or fully dilated, as some health professionals term it. But the journey's not finished there. Of course, the baby now has to travel down the birth canal. And so here is my vagina. And I'll just quickly click that on the baby's head. Whoops-a-daisy. So click that on. Yeah. And so the baby now has to travel down the vagina in the second stage to be born. And so, inside there is no cervix left to be felt. Enjoy this presentation. I hope you found it helpful.